Hi, and welcome to the inaugural episode of ADitude with a D.
Welcome everybody to Attitude. I am so excited to be here today and a little bit nervous too, but Ryan and I have been talking about doing this for some time now, so we're very excited to finally get it going.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a little up in the air about what this is. We are going to talk about streaming today, otherwise known as OTT, over the top, and your basic alternative to all that old folksy stuff like broadcast and cable and conventional in the car radio, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a hot topic right now. It's definitely something that a lot of advertisers and consumers are moving towards. We've all heard of cutting the cord. That was definitely, a huge change in media. And, we're definitely seeing a lot of great things on our end as advertisers. There's a lot of great reasons that we love it, like getting more consumer data and just being able to move a lot more quickly than, working through TV stations and more traditional platforms.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are a lot more analytics behind it, and you can get them up to the moment, right? You don't have to sit there and wait on a post log, which you have to request anyway, and then you have to know how to read a post log. So I think these are a lot more user-friendly analytics that you're receiving. I think it's a bit more affordable in terms of the cost per thousand CPM. And I think it takes away kind of the middleman. Like, you don't need to go directly through a rep anymore. It can be like just two people involved, consumer to placement, right?
Yeah, yeah. Come see us. You're friendly neighborhood advertisers, and we're cutting out the middleman. We can directly log into our dashboards that were pre-approved for. And we do have support if there's anything we have questions on, but it's so user friendly and just makes it a lot easier for our clients to customize things and for us to monitor things for them. I will say it's also allowed for some more interactive ads, which is interesting. So like you'll see a lot more, like Hulu has those like choose your adventure ads, and on Spotify, when you're listening to a radio ad, you can actually click on the ads and go to the link. And you're seeing a lot more QR codes on screen and things like that. So I think it's also changed the way that we create media to be consumed. And the other thing too is that a lot of the time, we have to change things because people are not just watching TV. They're on their phones, they're reading a book, they're, consuming other media at the same time. They're getting up to go make a snack during commercial breaks. So audio is just as important as the video aspect of things, because we have to make sure that one, it grabs the attention in the first like 5 seconds, and two, that it's memorable so that when people are getting up, they're still hearing that, sound, and it's still relaying that message.
Yeah, the comedian Ronnie Chang once joked that we're in this constant competition to see how many screens we can put between our face and the wall. So you've got your iPhone in one hand, you've got a tablet like maybe on the arm of the couch next to you, you got your laptop on the coffee table or your lap, and then you've got that television screen on the wall, right? And
Absolutely.
and they're all, maybe you have static ads on the laptop, you're hearing a Spotify ad or something on your phone. Your laptop inherently is going to have some kind of ad on it somewhere, because why else would cookies exist? And then you've got all your conventional ads on your television set, right? Even the apps themselves, you have a Fire Stick, you have banner ads that are being sold on Amazon inventory, same with Chromecast, same with Roku, things like that. And then you have, your ads you see in the form of 15-second, 30-second commercials. By the way, if you are doing 60-second commercials, you are wrong. I don't know what you're going to say in an extra 30 seconds that you can't say in the original 30 seconds. Just make another commercial to say it, and book in those ads or something like that. You don't need to have this long format thing that people are going to tune out because they're tired of hearing you.
Yeah, and honestly, when you are doing 60-second ads, especially on streaming, people are literally only watching it until they can get to the skip button. Ryan, you can talk about your favorite 15s.
Yeah. 15. So I actually tested this recently with a client in March. We did I want to say 3 different 6-second ads that were in rotation. And then we did like, I think 1 or 2 15-second ads. And the 15-second ads actually outperformed the 6-second ads, both in CPM and in well, it's hard to compete with the amount viewed because it's kind of a mandatory view at 6 seconds, right? But the viewership was relatively high with 15 seconds, where the drop off was negligible.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so typically 15s are six definitely has to be non-skippable. 15 is also typically non-skippable, right?
They
Depending on
they
the
can
time.
be. There's an option. You're gonna have a higher CPM when you have a non-skippable
Yeah.
15. The thing with 6 seconds is there's not much you can do at that time. It's mostly gonna be your call at the end, right? It's gonna be like, we're this company. Here's our phone number. Here's our website. Leave it up on screen. Click.
Yep. Yeah, keep it simple. But again, it's just capturing that audience and making sure your message is really clear, and interesting enough. But in 6 seconds, it's just kind of like, well, I guess I'm just gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would also say, despite how prevalent streaming ads are right now, and we have a ton of arrows in our quiver, we're super equipped to put you on anything these days, which I should also point out is great, because if you are placing on, say, broadcast, right, and you're like, oh, I want to be on, I don't know, Fox or CBS or something like that, you're typically only on Fox or CBS. But with a lot of these streaming platforms, for example, Paramount Plus, you'll be not just on Paramount Plus, their original content. You'll be on CBS News. You'll be on Comedy Central, all the things that they own as part of like their subsidiary package, right? So you're on multiple things, and it's following the user, not specific. Like, you can target, hey, I just want to be on comedies or something that resonates with my audience or something, right? I would say only do that if you're targeting like a broader geography and you can narrow that funnel down. It serves as a way to narrow it. But if you're rocking a $5,000 budget and you want to cover the entire Jacksonville DMA or something like that, I would say keep it wide open. Let all the content happen, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing to touch on too is budget, because I know we talked about how a lot of the times it is better for budget, but a lot of these streaming platforms have actually lowered the minimum requirement. Like,
Correct.
Spotify used to be only for the elite.
Yeah, Spotify used to be a $10,000 minimum for some reason. Them and Pandora, before they had the platform they have now, you had to dedicate minimum 10 grand.
I'm like, who's doing that on Pandora?
Right? I don't know who that's for at all. I think my dad still rocks Pandora. I'm not entirely sure. I wish I could talk him off that, but it's just like what he's gotten comfortable with, and he's dying on that hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, the barriers to entry are much lower now. $500 can get you on Spotify, on Paramount Plus, on, I think, even Hulu, Disney Plus. I mean, Disney Plus, I haven't done a lot of placements on right now. I mean, it's super simple. It's the Hulu. Hulu is Disney. It's owned by the same company. So if anyone wants to specifically target something for the children or people that just super duper love Disney, because I know you're out there, I'm approaching that myself with kids. So yeah, it's available. The inventory's there. It's probably cheaper than Hulu. I don't know. We'll find out together.
Yeah. Yeah. I would doubt that it would be higher than or lower than Hulu. Just because it's Disney, and I feel like Disney, everything is more expensive.
Yeah, because I guess that does include like, your Star Wars and your Marvel and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Like, I think, sometimes I go on Disney Plus and I'm surprised because I'm like, oh, I don't really want to watch a Disney movie. But then I'll go on and I'm like, oh, there's actually like, other things on here too that I can't even think of right now because I'm barely on that app. But
No, okay. There you go. You saved yourself, right? I knew you were watching Princess Diaries.
oh, definitely. I watched that recently. I watched the whole #1 and #2, and I think one night.
But one thing I did want to touch on, I've noticed that people are excited. They acknowledge that digital is the way to go and streaming is the way to go. It's not a thing that's coming, it's a thing that's here. I want to say in 2022 is when it overtook both cable and broadcast in terms of market share of how people are consuming their media.
Yeah.
But people are slow to make the transition.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you guys right now, if you get on streaming, you're going to be ahead of the curve when everyone else is like, oh, this is the norm. This is what I'm doing now.
Right. Yeah, it's true. I think that a lot of advertisers, they're just still used to the more traditional stuff. And while a lot of our clients have, integrated streaming in, I feel like, like you said, it's kind of a slow transition. So, yeah, it's so easy. I want everybody to know, like, it's not something that, is complicated to switch over, and it's not something that you have to lock into a contract. You can, it's really, it is very similar to place to digital ads. And again, it just makes it so like easy for us to manipulate and change and pull analytics and everything like that.
Yeah, and I'd also like to point out that part of your money, if you are still going through a broadcast or a cable company or something like that, they typically try to steer you toward their OTT solution. So you're kind of splitting your budget between their conventional, set top box stuff and streaming, and you don't always have an accurate picture of what the percentage breakdown is. And then I'd also say they try to say, hey, if you spend X amount of dollars, we'll produce this spot for you.
Yeah.
Well, they're also kind of like in the media inventory business. They're not necessarily in the creative advertising business. So
Agree, yeah.
we're a full service advertising agency. So we are more adept at creating your ad creative. And then we also have the expertise to do the placement.
Yeah. And yeah, making your ads look really good because we have a team of experts who can do that kind of thing. It was something we started our agency with, not something that we had to build in later to provide added value. It's something that we've always, put a lot of effort into.
And when we were talking earlier about CPMs and stuff like that, I know we mentioned the barriers to entries, like, $500 for a lot of these, right? I will say Amazon's still kind of high. I think they're $150 a day. So that's about $4,500 a month if you want that trade-off.
Yeah.
Also, their back end's a little more wonky and buggy, but I'm sure eventually it'll be good. Anywho. Okay, where was I going with this? God, I get so sidetracked. I hate being 41.
You were talking about the barrier to entry.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Like,
Okay.
Oh, the CPMs. No, lower CPMs, right? So Spotify, I've found, is about 13 to 16, depending on your targeting options. So that CPM is relatively low.
Yeah.
Compare it to other radio platforms if you want to. And if you place on another radio platform, like maybe you're only on the country music station, you're only on the top 40 station. Well, this you're following the person. So if they switch stations, they're still hearing your ad, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that you have the option to target specific genres, but you don't have to. And you can really, you can choose to include podcasts, you can choose not to. It's really customizable, but at the end of the day, I like, how you described it as following the person instead of, just that one kind of silo, because it really, like for me, who listens to a lot of different genres, just depending on the day, that ad would follow me across all of those, which is always better.
And one thing I really like right now is we have access to place on MLB TV. And as a Lunatics St. Louis Cardinals fan living in Florida, when I watch them on TV, mostly what I get are ad insertions from the local inventory, right?
Makes
So I'm
sense.
seeing like Dobbs Tire and Auto, which is 1,000 miles away from me. I'm not going to Dobbs Tire and Auto. It's an irrelevant ad for me. And then what happens if they don't sell their streaming inventory? You see these background videos of like the grounds crew ASMR style, like breaking the dirt or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very zen like YouTube TV does that sort of thing too. That's their unsold inventory. So yeah, if you place on MLB TV, rather than seeing that, you'll see a local ad. So if you're a fan of a sports team that's out of market, and you can't target team specific, probably for the better, because you don't know who's a fan of what in this town. So
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I never thought about it that way. As you know, I'm not the biggest sports fan, but
although your dad had Miami Marlins tickets, right?
yes, definitely went to plenty of Marlins games, Heat games, Dolphins games, all of those. But not really the one sitting and watching it on TV. And so yeah, I didn't think about the fact that watching the Cardinals games from up there, you're getting ads from up there too, and the difference between, what streaming can provide now, instead of that space. There is a channel that we watch sometimes. It's called Deal Zone, and it has like, Pawn Stars and, Pickers and like those kinds of shows, but they like run out of ads, and then it's just this screen with this song that just replays. It's like a guitar riff, and it just says your show will return in, and it has like a countdown, and it's so annoying. I'm like so sick of that song because it'll just play and play and play for like 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
But
So it's
yeah,
like
that's
Google
well,
hold music for me, huh?
yeah, it's that like unsold ads phase because who's buying on Deal Zone, I guess.
So I never would have picked you for like a Pawn Stars gal.
I love pickers.
And
It's so good.
do
They
you
do
have,
like
like-
drifting.
Do you have like Antiques Roadshow to thank for like the Pawn Stars, like people just looking at old objects? Right?
Yeah. It's kind of like a history thing.
Yeah, it is. They're like, oh, I don't know exactly if this is real or not, but I got an expert. And
I
he's
got
gonna
a
take
guy.
a look at it, and
Yep.
oh, this is counterfeit because they used this type of ink in 1870.
Yep, that's exactly it. But yeah. All right. Well, anything else you wanted to cover or you feel like we didn't touch on yet?
No, I just want to emphatically state before we sign off here
Yeah.
that if you are still on broadcast TV, if you're still on cable television through Comcast, something like that, right? And by the way, we can now place on Comcast, Peacock, all that stuff. It's NBC Universal. Comcast is the company, and they have a platform that now we can do that directly. So if you want to advertise there, cool, come to us. We got you. So if you're not at least making it a part of what you're doing, or maybe your budget doesn't allow for it, like it has to be in there somewhere. It is your mass reach vehicle and it needs to be a component. You need to budget it in.
Yep, I completely agree. Yeah, give us a call and we will do, a free sit down and just kind of go over your media mix and provide kind of some suggestions on what we think we can do for you. So
Yeah, so we should probably mention, I don't think we've mentioned our company by name yet. So, hey, how bad are we at this? Mad Men Marketing. The website is madmenmarketinginc.com. So madmenmarketinginc.com. And if you want to reach us via email, go to support@madmenmarketinginc.com. Don't worry, it's not some like strange receptionist thing. It actually goes to all the leadership of the company.
Yep,
So it goes to
directly
Nina, it
to
goes
us.
to Gina, it goes to JD. So if you reach out to us, we're going to see it.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. Well, give us a shout, you guys. This has been so much fun and we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
all right, guys, take care.